good friend of ours, and she wants you to know more about what she's doing with her book. And it's also on nutrition, how to love yourself, even if you're different colors, different backgrounds. This is even for men, to even look good. Hasta para los hombres que se vean más hermosos. Ella le va a dar información a ustedes también. Esto es para todo el mundo. Después yo.
Hi everybody, I'm Andrea Amador, and I'm so excited to be here. You have no idea. I have been a parent of 2 kids that went to this school, and the school has given so much. I want to give back. The reason that I'm here for you is to share that whatever situation it is you're living through in life, as long as you never, ever, ever give up, you will always prevail. I have always struggled with feelings of inferiority, feeling badly about my body. I have a lot of sexual abuse in my background. My stepfather was an alcoholic and abusive drinker, and things were very, very ugly. So I had a lot of ugly situations to deal with in my life. And because of that, if you've ever had situations like that, you know the kind of situations that you face in terms of not feeling good enough. Because you never quite know when the other shoe is going to drop in your life. There are so many things that affect us as people. It affects our self-image, the way that we think of ourselves. We are the product of our parents. And our parents are a product of their parents and their parents, and so on and so forth. So although your mother may have done the very best that she could, she may have, been very frustrated and had a tough time. She may have had an abusive marriage, and as a result of that, you're having a tough time. It is so, so hard being a parent. I've been a parent, I am a parent. I have a 21-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. And when my son was first diagnosed with learning disability, I thought my world would cave in. Because I swore that it was my fault. I was looking for blame anywhere I could find it. And when you're frustrated, you cannot think straight. How many of you here are ever under stress or anxiety? Anybody? Okay. All right. I am here to share with you an incredible technique called emotional freedom technique that will melt away your stress. I kid you not. I had made mention and said that I struggled for a long, long time with feelings of inferiority, not feeling good enough, always trying to do better, never quite feeling that anything that I did was enough. I was, when I was in my 20s, I was going through college, and something happened, and I had to stop and run the family business. And that led to the next 16 years, basically, of me doing something that I felt like I was selling my soul. I didn't want to do it. I was running multi-million-dollar buildings because my family came from silver spoon wealth, and I was making $150 a week. You want to talk about feeling bad and not having a sense of your value, not having a sense of being able to step up and say, whoa, this isn't fair? I know what that's like. I have dealt with that for a long, long time. And as a result of that, that has affected the way that I've parented my kids. Every single decision that I have made. There are a lot of regrets that I have because of the fact that I walked around for so many years feeling broken. My problem has always revolved around the fact that I have guns. And I have always been a plus-size woman. And I thought that I was miserable because I had fat thighs. And at some point I realized when I was going through my coaching training that I was miserable, that I had fat thighs because I was miserable. How many of you have ever heard of The Secret? Anybody? Okay. Well, The Secret basically teaches you that you set an intention, you ask the universe for what it is that you want. And that's all well and good. But if you don't believe that you deserve to have what you want, your order is not getting through to the kitchen. So I learned about the principles behind The Secret way back when I was 12 years old. My dad first took me to Silver Mine Control. And I had a leg up in that I learned about the power of our thoughts early on. But because I harbored this dark secret in me that my stepfather was sexually abusing me, it was like I was living a double life. It was like having your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. Has anybody ever experienced that? Okay. Well, what I would like to share with you is the technique that has gotten me through basically everything. It's called emotional freedom technique, EFT for short. And it is derived from the science of acupuncture. The ancient Chinese mapped out a system through our body, an energy system. And I know it sounds whack, it sounds ridiculous, but what this is about is we are all about energy. You cannot deny the fact that we're all composed of energy. Einstein proved it way back in the 40s. E equals mc squared. When he proved that everything is energy. What you don't know is that the thoughts that you're thinking about yourself is energy. You may see that this is a table and it looks solid, but what you don't realize is it's actually, under a microscope, it's actually particles that are moving and bouncing around. The same way that your thoughts are just like unset jello. So you may be thinking, oh man, I'm so stupid, I didn't finish school, or what's the matter with me? You know, I'm good for nothing, I'll never be as good as my brother, my mother hates me, therefore I'm, a bad person. All of these things, all of these lies that we tell ourselves, we end up believing them. The reason why is because there's a battle that's going on inside of us. Like an internal battle for power. You know in your heart that you want more, but because of the conditions under which you've lived and the things that you've seen in your life, you've probably seen a lot of people settling for less in their life. Feeling like, well, I'll never make it, so I'm just going to be okay with what I have. That makes a mark on us. It makes us believe that is all that we're worth. The technique, the emotional freedom technique, came at a point in my life when I was going through a coaching training, and I was reminded of a particular time when I experienced sexual abuse that 16 years of therapy could not touch. Every single time something reminded me of it. It could have been anything. It could have been watching the news. It could have been hearing somebody speak about something. It would have just reminded me of it automatically, and I'd start crying. I was listening to somebody speak, and I was automatically reassociated back into that moment. I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you have situations in your life where something horrible happens to you. And it's like it replays over and over again in your mind. Anybody? Any kind of events, any kind of horrible accidents, losses, grief, anything like that? Well, the way that our brain works is it's constantly working and processing the pictures. It's making pictures. It's making meaning of the things that you think about, the things that you live, the situations you live in. It's like we're sponges and we're taking it all in. So for the good bad, the ugly, whatever it is, it's all a part of us. And if we don't have a sense of being able to filter out all of the gunk, it's going to stick to us like glue. And we're going to be reminded of these things. And it's going to keep us lower and lower. And when we say we want something, we're not going to feel like we deserve it. We're not going to feel like we are able to do it because we haven't done something like that before. So there I was, sitting in my NLP practitioner training, and someone was talking about something that instantly reminded me of the word abuse. I was sitting in a circle with a bunch of colleagues, and I remember I looked at my legs, and they were trembling out of control. My hands on top of them were shaking out of control. I was going through full-scale panic attack, the likes of which I had never experienced. The woman, my colleague, she said, "Andrea, are you okay?" And I remember I shook my head, "No." And she said, "Come with me, I can help you." As soon as the door closed, I started sobbing hysterically. And I was in there. I was in that moment of feeling helpless and powerless. There was nothing that I could do. My body was not my own. And she had said to me, I remember hearing her through tears, she said, "Andrea, I know you don't know what I do, but I'm an emotional freedom technique practitioner, and I can help you. If you will let me tap on different parts of your face and your hands and your head, I can help you." And I remember she said, "Can you speak?" I couldn't say anything. I was so caught up in the moment, in the pain. And she said, "That's okay. Can you hum?" And I hummed. As she started saying this weird stuff, even though, and I don't remember what she said, but I'm just so thinking of the memory, and I'm there, and she's tapping on me, and I'm humming. And within like a minute or two, something happened. She must have read my face and known that there was a change in my body. She said, "Can you speak?" And I said, "Yes, I can." From that point, for the next 10 minutes or so, she continued to help me to break down the worst, most painful, disempowering memory of my life. And I don't have any explanation for it, but what happened was, all of the anger and all of the rage that I felt at being violated held me captive for so long. And within those 10 minutes of tapping on these stupid parts of the body, I finally realized why I had to forgive. Because I was walking around with the ball and chain. Now, let me explain to you what this technique will do for you. The latest research shows that when you tap on these unique comfort spots on the body, you are actually releasing chemicals in your body, because within your body, there's like a pharmacy going on. You have dopamine, you have muscle relaxants, you have serotonin, you have all of these things. And the way, the feel-good chemical, like if anyone is a runner, then you know the runner's high. You can actually create that feeling without doing the running. What you're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to tap on the different points so that you can get that feel-good sense. Now, the way that it works is the science shows that when you pair a negative thought, when the self-talk that comes out that we always say, we have like 60,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are negative, and they're just kind of regurgitating negative things that have happened. So by doing this, when you change the body's biochemical reaction, by doing the tapping at the same time you're thinking whatever it is that you're thinking, you will feel different. Now, let's do a test. How many of you can relate to feeling of like, okay, Jackie, how much time do we have?
Can we take a...
Can we take a break
pause?
and get the other person in, and then
Oh,
we'll finish with you?
absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So let's be encouraging